guys? Welcome to our edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders, investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. That's something you're interested in. Make sure that subscribe button down below, hit that bell notification icon, and the thumbs up. Alright, so today we're jumping into my weekly penny stocks, which is what I do every week. So let's jump into it. It's been a crazy week, as usual in the stock market. But I think there's some deals out there to be made. So for my first one on my watch list, I have ticker sign SOLO, and that is for Electrameccanica vehicle, and their moving average 10 is 315. Moving average 50 is 321. Moving average 100 is 324. And they end the week at 313. So they're below their moving average 50, 100, and their moving average 10. But let's go into. It seems like they tried to, sort of break out, or they rallied. I wouldn't say break out. They rallied a little bit towards the end of the day. But as you know, on the channel, I like to give some background information on the company and see what's going on. So let's jump into that. So it says the company responds to economic reopening with planned retail expansion of its flagship Solo EV into Arizona and Oregon. So basically, the company makes electric vehicles, but not like cars, but like small electric vehicles. Um, which, if you've been following in the news, is a pretty niche topic, and basically a space that a lot of people are trying to get into. It says a designer and manufacturer of electric vehicles today announced the accelerated expansion of the company's retail footprint for its flagship Solo EV, with new locations planned for Arizona and Oregon. In recent weeks, individual states and countries have begun a process of reopening storefronts, businesses at varying rates and times. In recognition of evolving situation, Electra Messina, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has responded with an updated retail awareness strategy focused on dynamically entering select new markets with interest and consumer demands is greatest. So they're basically, trying to expand their electric vehicles. Um, if been following everything, electric vehicles is definitely trending at the moment, and I think companies in that niche kind of world will definitely take off as people catch on as to what products they make and what they actually do. So that's why I have them on the list. Jumping into my next one that I have on my watch list, got ticker sign AYRO, and this is for Aero. And moving average 10 is 322, moving average 50 is 331, and moving average 100 is 335. And they ended the week at 327, so they're above their moving average 10, and looks like they're beginning to bounce back from this bearish trend that they had once they crossed their moving average 10 and moving average 50. Once the moving average 10 crossed the moving average 50 and moving average 100, to me that begins a bearish pattern when it goes down towards the negative. And then the opposite, if this line was to go up towards the moving average 100 and moving average 50 and then cross those in the positive, to me that would begin a bullish trend. So if we look at the end of the day, it's starting to rally towards the end of the day, and kind of set up to be more bullish, uh, possibly bullish, starting off next week. Based on the amount of volume and how this rallied, but also bear in mind I'm looking at the 1 minute interval, so these candlesticks are a little more dramatic than if you were to look at the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, or an hour interval. So, I like to look at the 1 minute because it gets down into to me more technical, and easier for me to look at to see when breakouts or bearish and bullish trends are starting to begin. But if you download the app, it's up to your preference. Um, if you want to download Robinhood or Webull, uh, I have a link down below if you want to sign up for that. So just look in the description for that. But this is the Webull platform, and I like their charts. So that's why I use my chart analysis using Webull. So this video is going to be from that perspective. Jumping into the background information on them. We can see this is their website. It's their main website. Just Google the company's name. Small, video of them making these vehicles. They make small vehicles for like different applications. It'll show you some of the fleet of vehicles that they have. Then industries that they use. Education, corporate campuses, hotels and resorts, government, food and beverage, and retail. So you see these like club cars going around on different, I guess not club cars, you see these cars going around different campuses, and you'll see them, on golf courses, or you have a big resort, you'll see them driving around. This is the company that makes those. So these are two of the um, main, I guess, vehicles that they make. You have the Club Car 411, and then you have the Aero 311. Both are electric vehicles. So, also in that plug and play niche of vehicles. And then going into their partnerships that the company actually has. They have a partnership with Club Car. It says Club Car boasts nearly 60 years of industry-leading innovation and design, initially focused on golf cars and then expanding to commercial utility vehicles and personal use transportation. The key of our transition, of our traction to date is our partnership with Club Car. Club Car is a $400 million annual revenue market leader with low speed vehicles, market with a dominant market share in personal utility and golf operation vehicle categories. So you look at these vehicles, um, you know, they definitely have a partnership with Club Car and their 411 car, which is this one. And then, you know, they have about uh, seems like they have a partnership with Ford Smart Mobility, and then also TMC Transport Mobility Cloud, and they just basically have a lot of different applications. Also, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, purpose-built Grand Prix facilities, United States, a design class of racing, 3.4-mile racetrack, including Formula One, MotoGP, Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas, as well as opportunities for track rentals. So you basically have these cars that go around to help people service at these different locations. But I definitely see them, expanding, as time goes on. I think they're little cool little vehicles. Um, I definitely can see them, being uh, taken into different applications. So, I think it's a cool little vehicle. Definitely see people changing from, uh, the gasoline powered stuff to more of these like electric cars, um, and definitely see the expansion of them. To me, it was one of those, out of the box, off the wall stocks to look at. But, as electric vehicles become more and more popular, I think a company like this definitely is poised to take advantage of that. Now, jumping into the next one, we got ticker sign CIDM for Synonym. Moving average 10 is 207. Moving average 50 is 208. Moving average 100 is 211. They ended the week at 209, so they're above their moving average 10, um, and a little bit above their moving average 50. So yeah, it looks like to me that they have just started to rebound from this bearish trend as it started to go down, and almost started to become a little bullish. If we look right here, they actually are above their moving average 50. So I wouldn't look at this line. I'd look at this line. So price wise, it ended above the moving average 50, but for confirmation of that bullish pattern to begin, I would need to see this red line, which is the moving average 10, actually cross or intersect this moving average 50 line. To me, that initiates a um, bullish upward trend, and then I would say, okay, I'm confirmed that it's bullish. To solidify that, then once I see the moving average 10 cross this moving average 100 threshold, then I would say, okay, that's my second confirmation of that bullish trend actually becoming a breakout. So that's kind of the way I analyze that. But let's dive into some background information on them and see what's going on with the company. So this is a press release from them, came out the 2nd of July, so pretty recent news, basically announcing the fact that they're going to be having their report for their fourth quarter and fiscal year 2020 financial results on July 6th. So, this Monday coming up, you can basically go in and listen to, how they've been performing and how the company is doing as a whole. It's free to investors, or I mean, if you're not, even if you're not investing, you just Google the company and press releases, and you can find this article. And then click on it. It'll tells you the call-in number. Um, Says there's no passcode required. And then for international calling, if you're an international caller, it'll gives you the passcode right here and gives you the dialing information for U.S. and then international phone number. So it works both ways for people who are interested in that. They also have an audio webcast, which is on here. So you can click on this link. So I advise everyone, if you can, go and listen to this. Find out some more information about the company. It's good to have as much information as possible about a company before you begin investing, so you can make a more informed decision. Financials to me are a huge thing that push a company forward and help. Actually solidify whether a company is a good buy or not a good buy. A lot of good updates and stuff come out about companies, but financials, to me, don't lie. If a company is saying they're doing all these different things, but financially they're still struggling, you know, I don't think the company is a good buy at that point in time. So, just bear that in mind that financials do hold a lot of weight, and you get a lot of information by listening to the actual conference call itself. Jump into another article from them. It says that they are partnering with LiveXLive to launch global LiveXLive branded streaming channel. So, if you're not familiar with LiveXLive, it's definitely a pretty growing company for streaming. It says a global platform for live streaming on-demand audio, video, and podcast content, music, comedy, pop culture. Announced today that it will launch a streaming OTT LiveXLive branded channel for the U.S. international audiences in partnership with Synagim. I cannot pronounce that correctly. Synagim will secure international licensing, distribute of channel on LiveXLive behalf. So basically, um, they're going to start a streaming channel, uh, which is going to stream a lot of different information and content for people. So, interested in to see that. I know LiveXLive is a lot of concert, a lot of streaming stuff, definitely involving music. So it'll be interesting to see if that is actually the future of music. Since people can't go to concerts because of the whole Roni situation, I think a company like LiveXLive, and if they're definitely partnering with this company, can start the trend of streaming concerts and how that actually will happen. It's a new fertile ground that most companies are trying to tackle that issue, and I think LiveXLive definitely has the upper hand as far as strategic plan to implement the new way we'll see concerts. So that being said, next one on here from my watch list is actually LiveXLive. So ticker sign LIVX. Their moving average 10 is 374, moving average 50 is 376, and moving average 100 is 377. Looks like they had a bullish like uptrend towards the end of the day. Volume definitely increased towards the end of the day, but they're still, to me, on this bearish trend because their moving average 10 is definitely way below their moving average 50 and moving average 100. Now, stock wise, the price ended at 377, so it ended above the moving average 10 and moving average 50, right at the moving average 100. But to me, like I said in the other one, the bullish trend doesn't begin until the moving average 10 line crosses the moving average 50 line threshold. So, still waiting to see how that will perform as far as next week is concerned. But it ended on a green note, so, it's a positive note, in my opinion, for the company. Going into the press releases for LiveXLive, we can see that they have been making quite a bit of moves during the quarantine times, which a lot of companies can't really say. A lot of companies are trying to find strategies on trying to implement new things and make more money during the quarantine, but it seems like LiveXLive has kind of figured that out already. It says LiveXLive's partners with global pay-per-view platform Fite, to market and cross-sell events together. So if we look on here, they're already making a partnership to try to get concerts, working with pay-per-view to try to get concerts and stuff for people. Um, you know, I know one big event that I was looking forward to that was just recently canceled is Bonnaroo. So Bonnaroo 2020 was canceled. They were supposed to have it in September, but they canceled it. So you know a lot of events like that. Bonnaroo, Coachella was another big event music wise. But if a company like this can find a way to actually go and uh, give people a concert that they'll be willing to pay for, I think that's an untapped market that people will definitely pay for. So then also it says LiveX Live completes acquisition of Podcast One. If you know anything about Podcast One, podcasts have definitely been, you know, an uptrend for years now. Different podcasts out there. People like listening to podcasts. LiveX Lives reacts to Presence announces its first ever Spring Awakening Music Festival, SAMF virtual experience, presented by Electric Beach, benefiting Music Cares. Okay. LiveXLive sees continued momentum as pay-per-view concert ticket sales reach 17,000, and Shaq versus Gronk stream drives total live stream views to over 78 million. So, you know, they definitely have a plan moving forward to capitalize on quarantine. And I think this company is definitely overlooked, especially at this price point, and definitely can see a lot of growth from them moving forward. It seems like they're going to solidify themselves as the main streaming platform as far as music is concerned. But it seems like, based on the other article from the previous company beforehand, that they're trying to solidify themselves as like the streaming platform in general. So if you look at YouTube and all the stuff that it's doing, uh, it's kind of along the lines of this, but they're focusing mainly on trying to drive revenue, but having something that can generate 78 million streams, live streams, definitely to me solidifies that they know what they're doing. So definitely a company to look forward to, keep your eyes on for the future and see how the stock actually grows. Going to my last one, we have a repeat. A lot of people kind of burned out on this one, but I put them back on there because there's some recent news coming out about them. So this is ticker sign G in US for Genius Brands. Moving average 10 is 354, moving average 50 is 360, and moving average 100 is 354. They ended the week at 355, so they are right above their moving average 100 and moving average 10, but not above the moving average 50. So if we look on here, it looks like they began a pretty bearish pattern going through here, kind of converged at this one spot. At their like moving average 100 and moving average 10. Interested to see how that does once market opens, but it seemed like it started to rally towards the end of the day. Looked like a bullish uptrend started to begin after this bearish kind of dead cat bounce that happened. It went up and then it kind of dipped off and then bounced. And this is second bounce. Now, it'll be interesting to see once the market opens if this is, another dead cat bounce or is this the beginning of a breakout. So, Interested to see how that works. But let's see what started this momentum and this movement. So basically on July 2nd, it says that the company announced that they'll be hosting a conference, so you can call in, and it is titled Genius Brand International Chairman and CEO Andy Hayward to host conference call to discuss key business developments. So, I know a lot of investors, invested into Genius Brands. A lot of people sold out on it, um, because it went down after that week that it went up. But, you know, them giving an update, I think is gonna, you know, the amount of people that were actually interested in this, once the company actually, started to become a thing, was, shocking. I saw it on like every, social media board involving finance. It just there was a crazy amount of people who were talking about this company. I don't think those investors are gone. I think they just kind of been, in hiding. And I think if this news is good, you definitely see the stock rally back up, in my personal opinion. But it's definitely something interesting to look into, and I would go to their website. This is just their public website, and click on this to listen to this audio once it actually comes out. So something interesting. This is actually going to be on at 10 a.m. on Monday. So look forward to that on Monday. Also on Monday, you got the Synergim uh, conference call as well. So, two things to look forward to on Monday. Stock market's always changing, always a lot of different things going on. So, look forward to that. The more information you know, the better informed decision you can make. And tell me down below in the link which stocks you guys are looking at for the week. And tell me, is this video helping you? Drop a comment down below. Make sure that thumbs up so you can get helps the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure you hit that notification icon so that you can get these videos once I release them every week. Uh, Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.